Do you play video games? I thought you might. I can tell by the skull deformation. Hello, ladies. I would like you to meet my friend, Michael. Michael is really a great guy, and truth be told, he's very passionate about gaming. In fact, he spends a lot of time gaming, but he really is a nice dude. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Michael, the future gamer. If you're thinking, hey, that guy looks like my neighbor that takes the trash out at 3 a.m., you're exactly right. That's him. If you're thinking, hey, that looks like a glimpse of me in the future if I keep playing RuneScape for 11 hours a day, this could be you as well. All of the hubbub around Michael has started with the World Health Organization, hearing a lot from those guys these days, about gaming addiction. Ooh. Okay, on their website it says, according to Limelight, the average gamer spends 6 hours each week playing online. Oh! Wow. Rookie, right? Oh.
I'm gonna pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Imagine making an article for casuals, which is an increase in 20% in the last year. I'll admit 20% is huge. Gamers in the UK play the most, 7.15 hours per week, with many even becoming addicts and spending up to 18 hours a day online. I'm not gonna lie to you, 18 hours a day, that's too much. Okay, gaming disorder will be distinguished by impaired control over gaming, increasing priority given to gaming over other activities to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other interests and daily activities, and continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. So, no XP waste at all, always on the grind. Absolutely. With this being recognized as a worldwide issue and gaming hours on the rise, what impact does this have on our physical appearance and health? Alright, we have an indent in the skull from pressure and overuse of headphones. There's definitely an indent in my hair. Not quite there. There is a gamer who did find an indent in their skull after this news.
Crispy, you have a dent in your head from your headset. No, I don't. No, I don't. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is there a dent in my head? Hold on. Hold on a minute. Hold up. Dude! My head has a dent! Oh no!
Sorry, Tin the Tat Man. Dark circles from sleep deprivation and excessive screen time. Alright, let's be honest. Sleep deprivation's just gonna happen anyway. Do I have dark circles around my eyes? Yeah, definitely. Hunched back. Poor posture over time. That one's a little accurate. I mean, to be fair, I do have really terrible posture while gaming. I tend to slide back. And it's really to the point where my back is kind of hurting sometimes, so that's not good. Obese from increased food intake and lack of exercise. To be fair, that's everyone in this country. Pale skin, deficiency in vitamins B12 and D. I mean, come on, I'm not that pale. PlayStation thumb. Repetitive strain from excessive use of a controller. Imagine using a controller. Ew. PlayStation thumb. You know, to be honest, ever since quarantine's been here and I've been on my computer so much, this part of my thumb is like all squishy because it's on the inside, like against my mouse. So maybe. Nintendo arthritis. Ulceration on hands from excessive controller use. Here we go with the controllers again. Poor blood flow from sitting down for long periods of time. To be fair, definitely happens. Bald patches. Oh damn. No, I'm good on that one. Bloodshot eyes. Irritation from staring at a monitor. Yeah, that's fair. Rounded shoulders from lack of movement. Ew. Eczema. Stress-induced. Why is his stomach black? That's the one thing I don't get about this thing is, like, he's got a flat stomach. It kind of bugs me. His stomach's flat from, like, being pressed up against a table. First-person shooter. Excessive use of mouse and keyboard causing numbness. Numbness? Damn. That sounds scary. Blisters on fingertips. Dude, you have to be playing for like 10 plus hours a day to get to the level of blistering. Repetitive strain injuries, swollen ankles from lack of movement. And it pretty much goes into describing more of Michael's pain. To be fair, he does look like that pasty 30-year-old bald dude that everybody knows as the hardcore gamer. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, looking at his, looking at the fingers on this model, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I know when I was playing World of Warcraft, the movement of the hands got really intense to the point where it actually did hurt my wrist a lot from playing a long time. In this breakdown, the plan to support gaming disorders, which is good, by the way. I'm glad to see that they're not just poking fun at the seriousness of these addictions or taking everything to the point of too far. Frankly, I think a lot of things can be addicting, and too much of anything is a bad thing. I heavily agree with that. In this, it's suggesting that there's a lot of psychological reasons why gaming is in fact addictive, and it regards the dopamine hit you get from victories, the thrill of the competitiveness of it, as well as that feeling of victory, and I mean a lot of things that are straight up make sense. I mean, I would not discount this as something that's fake or silly that needs to be overlooked. This is something that's interesting. The gaming industry strongly opposed the recognition of gaming addiction from the World Health Organization, arguing this could overshadow underlying issues such as anxiety or depression. I find that interesting and also good. It's not just writing it off as, oh, they're just addicted to this, but they're just saying maybe that these people want to bury themselves in this virtual reality or in gaming so much because that's the only place they're finding that dopamine hit or any kind of satisfaction or achievement in their life. And really that is the issue rather than the games themselves, if that makes sense. I can understand the need to escape reality or wanting to go into like an RPG where all of a sudden, you know, you're a hero rather than maybe a loser. Or maybe now you have friends, or maybe that is where all of your social interaction comes from. I wouldn't say that gaming addiction doesn't exist. If you're a gamer, you probably know someone who absolutely plays too much. And this is just highlighting all the things that can come from that. Lest we forget the South Park episode of World of Warcraft, or even some of the stories. I remember a story about someone who played WoW for such a long period of time that he got blood clots basically in his butt, and by the time he actually stood up and moved, the clots dislodged and gave him a stroke, I believe. There's plenty of classic pictures floating around that show how bad, quote, gaming addiction can be. We hear stories of people simply not wanting to get up to the point where they don't even go to the bathroom. And it's truly bad. It's always the same thing, especially in America. Everyone is always trying to point fingers and say, video games are bad, drugs are bad, these are bad, this is bad, blah, blah, blah. What is really bad is the fact that these people rely so heavily on one thing or other things that they can't provide in their life otherwise. The danger is coming from the addiction and not being able to control yourself over your need for that, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything inherently about video games that make them particularly bad. It seems really prominent now, but it seems to me that mental health issues are becoming really common, and we keep looking past them, trying to find a scapegoat or try and say, well, they did this because they were bullied. They did this because they didn't have any friends. They did this because they played too much video games. Well, he did that because he was stoned out of his mind. It's always just trying to find one solid scapegoat to write it off to that thing and say, okay, that's why it happened, let's just go with that. When they won't admit it's a complex issue, there's more to it. I think this picture got a lot of people kind of riled up. First of all, because it's funny. I mean, it's trollable, right? I mean, that is, in fact, the classic pasty gamer that everyone kind of imagines. This guy plays video games on this setup. Probably mines crypto or something. This is clearly all the things added up to what could possibly go wrong and if left unchecked. And this is kind of the worst of the worst. I mean, you know, how many people have you actually seen like this? Let's put it that way. On top of that, how many pro gamers have you seen like that? Just go look at any pro gamer on Twitch or even as they're advertised across the internet. Obviously, most of these places are putting their best faces forward, but still, how many severely obese or unhealthy pro gamers do you see? From a lot of the games that I play, all of the top gamers are also very fit and healthy. I know as far as old school RuneScape YouTubers, all of the top players are fit as far as I know. In fact, at RuneFest, one of the first things they do when they all meet up is go to the gym. Obviously, a pro gamer is not necessarily a video game addict, and they're two different things, but still. Alright, so anyway, just because we should be responsible about this, and let's be honest, you don't want to end up like Michael. Tip 1, exercise. Okay? Make sure, get up, stretch, move around. Prevent eye strain. Avoid glare from your screen by evenly lighting the room. It's actually good. Remember to blink. And also rest your eyes by taking breaks in between games. That's fair. Posture. That's going to be a tough one, especially in a crappy chair or whatever. But yeah. Hydrate, and yeah, just always make sure you stay hydrated. So what do you think? Is this an accurate description of what video game addiction will look like in the future? Let me know in the comments what you think. I personally think it is far-fetched. I do think there are some serious health issues if you play video games for example, 18 hours a day. I mean, several hours a day is a lot. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed and want to see more content, and you want to check out my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Check it out. I appreciate it. There will be links in the description below how you can support me on social media and other platforms. And thank you very much. Stay safe, gamers.